set for Flare versus Chillava, written by Ducky, image credit by Ducky, this guy in the Roy Discord, and read by me, obviously. Very high octane game analysis. Okay, so the voice that isn't my regular voice is going to be Flare. It's not meant to be an impression, it's just to be a different voice. Okay, so Flare posts the video. Here you go. I'll be around soon. Okay, I'm here. I didn't like how that started, going to the corner, and then using one of your slowest aerials as an approach. Definitely more F-tilt than I agree with. One of the biggest reasons why is because the medium hit sucks. 48 seconds, Randy F-smash? But why? Dang, mentioned the caveats to jab jab on shield. I'd say jab into D-tilt. Jab is -9 and D-tilt takes 7 frames. Yeah, he shouldn't have any out of shield that can directly punish it. D-tilt crouches, so it ducks under rising aerials, and assuming rising Kirby Nair doesn't hit, F11, it should be good. He would have to use Dare, which is a hard call out, F21. 51 seconds, no need to tech roll in. That rushes the interaction and you lose control due to it. 56 seconds, the FB was inadvisable. You had no reason to think that would work besides very tight timing, aka luck, right after. That was some wacky plat movement. And lol, why did dash attack work at 1 minute? That was such a wacky option that it worked. Just doing down tilt nair for ledge trapping is a weak ledge trap. 1 minute 11 seconds, you tried rushing on stage with a fading forward NAD, I guess neutral air dodge. Understandable, but also readable. And I personally disagree with following up air as a combo starter on Kirby. Working on your jab conversions, 116 was wacky. 120, please don't whiff F-tilt into buffer roll, especially not a back roll. Especially not a back roll at Kirby. I can understand buffering spot dodge, but he was retreating, why would you roll? And then you rolled away, which was just as bad of an option as rolling in. A better option would be unshield into reverse down tilt, but I especially disagree with your movement after the roll. You're in the corner, he's half screen away, and you dash away? But why? Why would you dash away and dash towards Nair and not even come close to doing anything besides whiffing? It confuses me. Although I suppose it could be good conditioning to do it twice? I don't really think it is, as your drift is basically set in stone and all he has to do is recognize that and overshoot. And then you did an F-tilt, where jab would have worked fine. Yeah, your ledge trapping is basically down tilt into rising Nair into jab. So far that's all you've done. Oh, and a double jab on shield? LOL XD! You caught him rushing to get out of the corner, which is good. But it's still risky without a read, which I'll assume you have. But if you didn't, then you basically just mashed F-tilt again. But a key difference between pros ledge trapping and yours is that theirs incorporates movement and mix-ups. Yours has so far been truly static. Granted, it's only been 2 minutes. For all I know, this could be an elaborate conditioning sequence. But it's not a very great one TBH, and no specific flow. You'll have to study ledge trapping more. It's never one specific thing unless you're a setup character. And then, they have more than one setup, and they vary accordingly. You're kind of using rolls for movement, which is kind of bad. 140, you had a very sus decision making, doing a full hop from the corner onto the plat. He was under the plat. I don't see what going high would do for you. He whiffed in challenging it, of course, and you went below, which is good, very good. But then you went back on top of the platform and let him drop below, completely sacrificing the stage control you just had. 1 minute 45 seconds, bad landing. You air dodged from on high. You fast fell very early as well. I can agree with the fast fall, but not the air dodge. There was no reason to do that when you've been doing it every time and can use a mix-up of some sort. Whether it's in timing or spacing or button, it's still good to mix it up. Oh lol, it killed you too. I really want to say Roy has better combos than Nair Fair on Kirby and Zero. And then an immediate fade back to FB again. Kirby has a bunch of jumps. That's a lot of timing mix-ups. What are you going to catch? Roy confuzzled emoji. Down throw fair isn't sure at low percents IIRC. 1 minute 58 seconds, unshield F smash when he grabs ledge. I think I've seen a few careless F smashes so far, and it's only been 1 stock per person. 2 minutes 10 seconds, it's becoming apparently, okay Ducky, nice English. It's becoming apparent you really love your F tilt. I had to correct it from Ducky. You're using it over down tilt. There are multiple reasons why not to do that, lol. When you were juggling with a bunch of up airs, I want to say that you could have bared for at least one of them, but that's just a nitpick to be honest. 224, this time you have a different ledge trap. You're at roll distance-ish. He rolls, but you choose to nair. You very much overshot that nair. Up air would have covered a lot better, and sour up air into F smash is a kill confirm. But I don't know if it works at these percents. It probably does. 2 minutes 30 seconds, sour jab for ledge trapping, but you're still neglecting down tilt. Oh, and as I mention it, you start using it and you get parried lol. Okay, I have a big gripe. 239, he whiffs a dash attack on ledge trapping you that has 25 frames of end lag. He was at 116. Free kill, all caps. Don't pass these opportunities up. You just rolled for no good reason. If he hit you, you can't roll. If he whiffed, he has a bunch of end lag to punish. If he hits shield, he still has a ton of end lag. Those are the 3 possible situations. But you'll notice how I don't consider roll as an option for any of them. And then you can mash F tilt after. Bruh, you could have F smashed or up smash him. Wary emoji. 2 minutes 42 seconds, you're getting antsy for the kill and throw out an F smash. When it almost works, the fact remains that it was an almost, and you should use it when you have a read. Right after, you directional air dodge away from his potential nair follow-up, and then dash at him. I don't agree with this, you're at a disadvantage, or very nearly. That's the time to play safe and whiff punish. One of Kerb's biggest weaknesses is his range, but rushing at him mitigates that weakness. 2 minutes 48 seconds, you should know by now, he's going to dash attack with ledge trapping you. He's done it every single time so far, and it lingers for a very long time. Active frame 9 to 34. There is no reason to directly challenge it like that. You could just drop down double jump bear to punish the end lag. Or even drop down double jump over him and dead. Just don't run into it, sad face. Let's look at a block string you have. Down tilt, jab, dash forward. By the time you dash, here's the size of his shield. You could have just used side B instead of your previous option. Granted, you still got the shield break, but you risked it all. Dash forward down smash was pretty risky, all things considered. 3 minutes 3 seconds, double jab on whiff, you're doing it again. Weird looking emoticon. And right after, you dash away and dash in for a telegraphed fair. He recognized that pattern from your game opener and tossed down aerial early to preemptively stuff it out. You should take advantage of this kind of conditioning as opposed to letting it take advantage of you. After that, you kinda just mashed short hop, fast fall nair everywhere. Not very threatening, I'll admit. And then jab into buffered F tilt. Boy, do you love your F tilt. And then, when he rolls away, you dash away. But why? Why do you keep doing this? Genuine question. I don't understand why. What is the purpose? Such an obvious tell is getting you punished. He's throwing out preemptive aerials on reaction to that. 3 minutes 10 seconds, I must give an F in the chat for your jab into sour nair 1-2. And then you naired when he was high above and in front of you. This is the blind spot of nair, be mindful. Up air is deadly and covers that same angle and more. Thinking emoji. Has less lag to boot, but only by a frame, so that's no big deal. And then you buffer to roll on whiff, which I gather is your antsy and like to roll and buffer options. And you constantly dash back to telegraph and approach. 3 minutes 16 seconds, it was visible that he has a read on your timing. You make use of this? I don't know, I just copy and pasted what he said. He said make twice. Okay. Do a fake approach to bait him into a button and whiff punish that button. Triumph emoji. ... Oh my, you actually did the right thing after. But instead of punishing the conditioning you performed, You ran away. By run away, I mean you dashed away, which is part of a pattern you established. When you dash away, 9 times out of 10 you dash right back and push a button. DED 1 into jab into down smash is not... Oh, it's double edge dance. Double edge dance 1 into jab into down smash is not a shield break. Maybe DED 1 into jab into DED D4 maybe? Thinking emoji? 3 minutes 42 seconds. You've been doing ledge climb every time. And now he's recognized this and is committed to making a read. He F-smashed your ledge option. 3 minutes 47 seconds. Full hop up air risks. If not, gives away the stage control that is important in Smashville. And then he caught a strange empty landing with an F-smash. While I may not understand the decision making that you have for everything, I do notice that you fail to make good use of mix-ups, and you fail to take advantage of conditioning at Flare 603 for Game 1. Those were two big things besides ruling, where a lot of other things would suffice. You underutilized D-tilt and used up air only in a few specific circumstances, even though it would be a better button than Nair given certain circumstances. It seems to me that you have trouble recognizing those circumstances versus Kirby. Up air is a strong button versus Kirby, but it's easier to make use of when Kirby takes to the air or is already in the air. And you love your F-tilt button, and when you use D-tilt, you kind of used it a bunch, but you never did use it continuously through the match. Which is a shame. It grants as it grants a tremendous amount of set play on shield. You love your F-tilt button so much, you use it over jab as a whiff punish. Jab has more reward, man. It's also faster. The hit confirms it grants, deals more damage, and kills better than F-tilt. When someone whiffs on you, you should take advantage of such a beautiful opportunity. Oh, he's talking to some other person in the Discord. I'm on the Kirby v Roy vid, yes. And then he's just going back. Still doing the backdash to telegraph approaches, which typically consist of Nair. Nah, I just said this is game 2. Backslash O slash emoticon thing. But there's a serious emphasis on using Nair here for some reason. But why? Why not Tomahawk? It's almost painfully linear to be blunt about it, but it's only that way because you don't take advantage of the conditioning your natural play gives. This kind of play comes naturally to you, and you should take advantage of the fact it conditions your opponent to expect certain things. I don't mean to say stop doing X, but rather take advantage of the secondary effects it has before they take advantage of you. Also, as a side note, mashing Nair out of disadvantage is a terrible decision. 4 minutes 40 seconds in the vid. It's really risky, but it is also hard to hit when gaining center stage control. A preemptive rising buffered aerial towards your opponent is genuinely a bad thing, considering that Roy has very little air acceleration. You have no way to safely undo the effects of your jump. This permits Kirby to get over the fact that his stubby range is bad and that you have a sword. Such a maneuver should be limited to reads, but even then, Roy has better grounded options or non-buffered options to contest Kirby challenging Roy's control of center stage. I don't really agree with run-up jab to the back of Kirby unless you're trying to bait an out-of-shield attack. Be wary of his out-of-shield options. A jab is mostly a tool to catch buttons. It's not a particularly safe move on shield. 4 minutes 50 seconds was a classic case of linear play, backdash down tilt, continued dashes between two specific points. No mix-ups and no reason or rhyme to the movement. Kirby is cross stage, nothing will come of such movement other than to reaffirm him that you backdash before you approach, which is actually a great conditioning tool if you choose to take advantage of it. 4 minutes 55 seconds, you now decide to take center stage. That is it. This is what Roy is supposed to have control over. That is how to force Kirby to make a decision. At 4:56, I believe he expected you to dash away before dashing in, and he jumped into your Nair accordingly. He dashed into it? Nair 3. This is what I mean by mix-ups. That's what you want more of. You set a pattern of some kind that teaches your opponent information. You then deactivate from that set pattern in a way to counter your opponent's information, and thus turn it into misinformation. The subsequent ledge trap was okay. You still did dash away, dash in, down tilt. He recognized it and tried to beat it. Thankfully, you traded. After this, you were shielded on ledge. This is good. By that, I mean this is different. You're doing a different ledge trap now than you were earlier. The role could have been substituted with something else, but it was still a part of your ledge trap. Sour down tilt is at least some reward. After all, you totally could have spot dodged into an attack, but something. 503, he whiffed a fair right above you. That's actually a perfect time to use jab. This is ripe for a strong combo. Or maybe I'm wrong, but regardless, a button wouldn't have gone remiss. I see that you tried F-tilt, but F-tilt is both slower and laggier than all your other poke tools. The interaction right after is painful to look at, and let's look at why. Double jump away into falling out the air. A valid maneuver, but if he didn't shield, he could have caught your landing. This is after he unshielded for those looking on. In fact, I think his image is right. Oh, no, this is correct. Okay. In fact, he still tries to go for a punish, but this up tilt, it clanked, which saved your behind. But if you could have up tilted, you could have shielded. If you could have shielded, you could have punished his F smash very hard. It is active frames 13 to 19, and the first active frame is minus 23 on shield. That makes him roughly minus 19 on shield at best. Up smash is free. If he hadn't F smashed, he could have punished. Oh, this is a jab. Even better. A fast, safe-ish poke. The painful part is how you buffered F tilt again at this point. You've conditioned him to expect F tilt. And then a buffered roll, which doesn't need any introduction, I think. Into a buffered F smash, in which it is very, very obvious the Kirby was expecting a button or attack. For one, buffering each step leaves no leeway for mix-ups in spacing and greatly restricts mix-ups in timing. For two, buttons were mashed often. He did a fair to whiff punish, which isn't that bad. But now you're on the ledge versus Kirby. Not good. Sad face. Somehow, your ledge attack worked despite him shielding lol. One of Kirby's weaknesses. Either he messed up a parry, or you took advantage of the conditioning, where you did ledge climb every time. But it's a weak gain from such conditioning. This doesn't make sense to me. He's been in the air the whole time, but pivot F-tilt? He has a bunch of jumps left. Busting Curb's ability in the air by using your range and his lack of range is valuable. And then you buffer a roll on whiff again? Crom think emoji. Understandable, but it still sets a pattern. 5 minutes 15 seconds is weird. You did dash away, short hop fast fall nair jump in into F-tilt, but the nair hit. This shows linear game plan, be mindful. 5 minutes 19 seconds, your decision making and sus edge guard put you in a situation where you were being ledge trapped. There was no reason to go low when the Kirby has all the mix-ups and going high. A runoff fair is pretty risky for little to no reward potential in this kind of scenario. The Kirby recognized this and rushed to ledge. In this kind of situation, you do not have the tempo. Control is not in your favor. Which is exactly why he buffered a short hop away. He expected a buffered option because you were rushing on stage. Panicking from your failed edgeguard and at the bad positioning, the Kirby rightly guessed that it would be reasonable to throw an option coverage for a buffered ledge option. The tempo is not in your favor. You should not rush such interactions. Rushing interactions does not work in your favor. Recognizing your panic and option rushing from the ledge interaction, the Kirby guessed you would jump off the platform when you dashed. This guess was based off of evidence making it a read. A bit of a soft read, but still a read. He threw out nair perfectly to softly cover an expected rush option, because you were indeed rushing here, pressing the issue when it was not in your favor. You want to set the pace and gain the control. This means picking and choosing your fights, and includes disengaging or playing safely. A dash dance on the platform would not have been remiss. It would have gathered you information, as he would have had to make a hard read on your options in order to cover that. A very high risk approach to the platform, which wouldn't even be guaranteed to work, even with a working read. With a dash dance, you can gather information on him and disrupt the information he has. Because you're suddenly not rushing options, his read would have failed. This can shake his confidence in his reads, and it will also make it your turn to make a move. He would be in some sort of lag and have shown his hand. In other words, he would have unwittingly pressed the issue and engaged in the interaction when it was not in his favor. This gives you the tempo and can permit you to start interaction from disadvantage to reset neutral. This is after a directional air dodge away, which correctly avoided his dash attack, but you went for down tilt. He practically just started his dash attack lag, which is, as mentioned before, 25 frames. F smash for days, bro. If you feel less confident in such a read, double edge dance where it's just fine. 4 frames faster and can be hit confirmed. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't down tilt, you jab up air. But the thing about Town and City is that vertical kill power is significantly weakened. Horizontal kills are the way to go. And the way to set up horizontal kills is with horizontal pressure. Jab up air is still a valid option, but you can see why it wouldn't kill so easily on Town. Town isn't Roy's best stage because it enables vertical kills. Huh? It doesn't enable vertical kills. Why'd Ducky say that? He literally just said it was for horizontal kills.
You might want to turn the volume up as well, on the music that is.
Why?
It's really quiet.
Oh. Well, the music isn't supposed to be too loud.
That's true.
Great, I lost where I was. Okay, it's his best because it enables funny side B and increases the potency of jab bear kills, or Jair as the cool kids call it. Double edge dance, jab double edge dance, jab bear, jab fair. What these all have in common is horizontal knockback, and Town and City increases the potency for each option. Right here, a rule behind him. This is very, very prime down tilt time. He'd have to parry, which takes a read. Anything else isn't guaranteed. Oh jeez, this guy can rap. Which still means he has to make reads. The situation to be killing off of it directly. Instead, you jabbed. -9 on shield, and his bear out of shield is frame 9. You're also right next to the blast zone at high percent, and that's a kill move. You got pwned for using an unsafe move on shield. You should be using down tilt for such pressure. Down tilt sets up them pushing buttons, which sets up your jab to catch those buttons. Strong set play, but it was tragically underused. Right here, you dashed in. Due to the conditioning, he expects a button. This means you can make a soft read on him shielding. Down tilt City. But you dashed away and started charging F smash. You're really antsy for a kill, but it's hard to get kills, and they don't come well from trying to force the issue. Simply push Kirby closer to the ledge to increase the potency and likelihood of your moves connecting. The whiffed F smash caused you to get from 0 to 30, which could have been much worse if he hadn't flubbed. No. I think it's not hard to tell why. Double no. 1. Don't mash buttons out of disadvantage. Snake. 2. Of all buttons, Nair isn't a good one. 3. You've done this more than once now. I agree with going to the ledge in the circumstance you were in, but buffered ledge climb into buffered forward roll, that's a bad habit, especially as it's not much different from just the ledge roll, which he read hard. Ledge rolls are to be used more sparingly. Ledge climb into forward roll is basically a laggier version of ledge roll. Just the climb and then reacting accordingly would have been the best play here, or a ledge jump. Because he dashed away, you can react with a ledge jump. Either way, not the roll. Mashing buttons out of disadvantage again. You recognize the tag mashing is bad, so you went for air dodge. He read that. You dropped a follow-up to let you land and be in lag. You need to be mindful of the trifecta of options when landing out of disadvantage. I disagree with this double jump. You spent your precious resource in a matter that didn't net you direct benefits. But this falling fair is what I'm talking about. This is a fine option. It's one of the fundamental trifecta of options, and is good for catching small people with. Unfortunately, your subsequent jab attempt was not a true combo, but you know what you could have done? Use side B. You haven't used it once, but you have used F-tilt and similar moves a bunch. The reason to side B would be to take advantage of your conditioning. The counterplay to an F-tilt jab would be an air dodge into follow-up. But the counterplay to side B is to cross up or a directional air dodge away. Completely different counterplay. VV would have been a very solid option. Ledge trap situation and good damage. What is bad? Directional air dodge. Just my shorthand. Oh, and on the whiff jab, you buffered a dash. But he's right next to you, and you dashed into him. You can't assume the jab will hit like that. If the jab hits, you have the bonus hit lag that will assist you in reacting accordingly. If it doesn't, you won't have the cool sounds and freeze frames. Which means don't be right next to the guy whose weakness is stubby range, lol. Play footsies or initiate set play. You can 1. Mash a button. 2. Shield. Or 3. Move away, jump or dash. Mashing a button is to catch them in startup, and shielding is to initiate shield set play. To disengage is to set up a situation in which you react. If there's nothing to react to, you can play footsies. This is why I say Nair isn't good to hit Kirby with. With crouching, he's one of the smallest characters in the game. Nair, SUX, at hitting low opponents. Granted, he wasn't crouched due to down tilt, but the fact remains he crouched. He committed a low risk poke. The reason it's such low risk is because you either suffer the poke or hard call it out, or just disengage. But with a jump or dash disengage, he's safe on whiff. His down tilt is safer on whiff than ours. 20 total frames, and it's frame 4. -9 on shield, which means it's still hard to punish. I'm not sure we have anything that, when rising, hits Kirby like that. This is what I mean. He was spaced. So up B or rising aerials wouldn't work. You have to suffer the poke. So rising aerials don't work on Kirb that well, unless he jumps. That's when your aerials are at their strongest. You did this reaction on shield right after that Nair. I've already commented on this, but this cements it. You adore your F-tilt, but it's unfounded. Down tilt is your soft read on shield. It's the epitome of shield pressure, -3 on shield. The catch is that it's slower than jab, but F-tilt is even slower than down tilt. Frame 8, bro, and it has a boy spot. Sad face. Frame 7, faster and more rewarding. It's safer to boot. F-tilt has its use in other situations, namely tech chases. On shield set play is not one of those uses. You're -13 with F-tilt. At that point, you might as well have F-smashed. You're unsafe on shield. Even on Kirby, and especially on Kirby from behind. This put you in the disadvantageous state, or side, of a ledge trap. Again, and again, you buffer ledge climb, and then subsequently buffer an evasive action. The last time was a roll, so this time you did spot dodge. Let me break down his ledge trap. Step 1, he reads your timing. Step 2, he covers jump preemptively. This is the point he covered jump preemptively. Step 3, he reads that you won't push shield because you haven't done it once, and only buffered evasive actions, which means you would either do roll or spot dodge, and since you did roll last time, you'll do spot dodge this time. Pow. He flubbed an edge guard, so when he went to his ledge trap positioning setup, you had already buffered a ledge jump. If he hadn't flubbed the guard, this would have been a successful read, but after that, I don't need to explain. Each one was buffered, and the F-tilt was punished in end lag by Kirby's F-tilt. This is the simple reason why. He extends his arm. He flubs another edge guard for some reason, so on to the next ledge trap. What happened here was he did a down tilt when he flipped the down smash to try to salvage something from the interaction. This hindered his ability to cover your options. As he bounced away, you rolled, but for some reason, you never do just climb or just jump. You continuously pair it with something else. Besides the one time I can remember that you jumped, which was also when you avoided his ledge trap, by the way. He whiffs a roll punish, and praises B, you down tilt him. It still hits shield, but still, down tilt, backslash O slash emoticon. But, you then decide to buffer another down tilt. I don't know why. Down tilt is -3 with 7 frames of startup. Frame 10 out of shield beats it. You're behind Curb. He has a frame 9 out of shield. This means that you could either shield, spot dodge, or jab. Shield means you can punish a button, if any. Spot dodge calls it out a bit harder, and jab is the hardest call out for his Rising Bear. Ledge trap at 6 minutes 18 seconds because you got sent all the way to the next ledge. Roy emoji. Here, we finally see a shield from ledge climb. I'm not saying it's a great option, but that's different. You can also see the Kirby try to cover jump preemptively. This is it. This is where your conditioning is played into effect. He expected a buffered something. However, the best option here is down tilt when landing. His legs go all the way back. Down tilt is also safe on shield. Should he be able to shield? English. Okay. And down tilt puts you into crouch, which means rising aerials won't work. Death noises. Buffering and jab is too risky here, but that's what happened, and he read a button and went with an F smash. He either made a read that you don't like, down tilt, or guessed and it worked out. Whatever the case, stock gone. You start the stock overly aggressive. You're making an overshoot that has no reason to work. If you didn't dash forward, that up air would have hit. You adjust to try to aim where he is, but now he adjusts and forces you to make a read, overshooting. But to catch him with the button? Wait, oh. Overshooting to catch him with the button, okay. But in this case, pushing a button isn't your favorite anyways. This is what I mean by overly aggressive. Overshooting when it won't benefit you. And pushing buttons when it won't benefit you. Desperate to start damaging the stock, you start hurting your ability to hurt him. At low percents, Kirby wants grab. You are punished, but you are whiff punished with grab. Why? Because Roy has bad air excel. You jump and whiff at the plat, carried you all the way over to, and there was nothing you could do about it after the fact. You subsequently use Nair badly multiple times across different sides of the stage and get whiff punished over and over. Oh, and your pattern comes back. Backdash, dash, and attack. You're throwing out jabs and down tilts and nairs. This is what I was talking about, a ledge climb. Without a buffered defensive option, he has been ledge trapping the same way multiple times, and you mixed it up now. His ledge trap was to cover jump preemptively, and then you cover a roll. You managed to get him for ledge trapping purely preemptively. Purely preemptive ledge traps lose to options like this. Purely reactive ledge traps lose to jump and drop down double jump the most. Here it is, the kind of choice that enables Nair to start working. This is when you find success nairing at your opponent, when you get them to start jumping. You're still mashing buttons and overshooting with them, but even so, your moves must have a purpose. And more of the aforementioned issues, and now you're ledge trapping the Kirby. Your ledge trap was 1. Preemptive nair to cover jump, 2. Buffered down tilt to cover ledge climb. He shielded, so your set play was the down tilt. Since he pushed a button, the subsequent jab worked, but then you got jab into reverse fair. Oops. This is what I'd call a brain dead play. From the jab fair, you pivot cancel F tilt across the whole stage. It's a very obvious move and not safe at all. He got a fair and barely whipped his F smash read. If he had stutter stepped it, you would have been demolished. Your opponent knows not to rush into being above you, which is why this flubbed. The only way for it to have landed is if you overshot it. When you make a read, you have to go all in, invade their space with your grinning face and blazing sword. This is not really a juggle tool. No. You were stuffed out in startup. Your ledge trap at 7 minutes 15 seconds still suffered. It did better than your Nair stuff because it was different though. Landing fair into buffered down tilt. I guess fair 2 can hit crouching Roy. At 7 minutes 23 seconds, unshield into jab and unshield into F tilt are not out of shield options. You got punished and then edge guarded. And that's all the time I have for at the moment. Oh whack, that was the whole set. For some reason, I thought it was a best of 5. Can I have a TLDR? That was a lot to take in. I guess just less F tilt, more D tilt, and mix up stuff? Less F tilt, more D tilt, better set play, play safer, play with purpose, buffering is risky, and you shouldn't over rely on such things. Take advantage of conditioning, and I think that catches some of the biggest stuff. I encourage you to look into the stuff yourself as well. Thanks a lot, I'll be sure to work on it all. Best of luck, \o/ emoticon. See if you can't theory craft plans thinking emoji. Figure out the pattern behind why you do X. Example, down tilt. A slowish and very safe soft read on a grounded opponent. I categorize moves like this. Helps me analyze. Whew, now I'm pooped. Fun though. End day. Okay, that's the thing. That's Ducky's gameplay analysis of Flare the Roy versus Chillava the Kirby. I hope you enjoyed. I sure did not. Thank you.
Dude, you gotta get going.